Behind me is one of the best neighborhoods in Austin to buy in for 2024. Jeremy Nathan-Eicher is your favorite Austin realtor. Today I want to go through and talk about the neighborhoods and areas around the Austin area that are going to be the best areas to buy in 2024 and to hold long term. Now I got quite a few areas on this list, and I could have easily gone and said Westlake is the best area to buy because the prices are phenomenal, or 78704 is the best place to buy because the prices are phenomenal. There's a lot of reasons I've chose the areas on this list. One is the donut effect I'll talk about later in the video. A lot of it has to do with what I'm seeing is where people are wanting to be. And I also look at the numbers to see what areas are still seeing good price growth. So a lot of the reasons on this list, and I'll tell you about each of these areas as we go through, but I want to hear from you. What areas outside of Austin in the suburbs do you think are going to, or do you want to hear about for 2024? So this video is going to be specific to Austin areas and Austin zip codes. I will do another video if you'd like on the areas outside. So, talking about Leander, Cedar Park, all of those areas. For this video, we're only going to talk about Austin zip codes. Let's get started. Okay, the first on my list that I think is going to see a good amount of price appreciation over the next year to few years is this area in zip code. It's 78717. I like this zip code because this area is insulated, right? You have the outer end of the Austin area. Past that, you're going into Williamson County. I mean, part of this zip code is in Williamson County, but you're in the Round Rock School District, which is rated an A. In fact, a lot of the schools in this area are rated, depending on what you're looking at, niche or the other, are all rated really high. The other thing is there's not a lot of construction or new construction in this area, so it's slightly insulated. Plus, this area has got a lot of that hill country feel to it. It's got a lot of wooded areas around it, a lot of hills. You have the Brushy Creek that goes through there. So you have in this area Brushy Creek, Avery Ranch. What's really great and why I think that this zip code is going to see some appreciation this year. I mean, last year they were down 5.6% year over year. But the average list to sale price was 92%. A lot of the Austin area was really about 90% last year. So they're a little bit higher on that. There's really only about 15 to 18 homes available on the market right now. And in the Austin area, and this is why I'm specifically looking at Austin, there's only about 2,500 homes compared to the larger MSA, which is close to 9,000 right now. So that's why we're specifically talking about Austin in this. There's not a lot on the market. So that's going to have some good price appreciation because the inventory is slightly lower right now. There's not a lot of new construction being built there. That's why Cedar Park prices went up so high, is they kind of stopped building in Cedar Park and everything moved out to Leander and Liberty Hill. So as soon as those areas stop or slow down their construction, you'll see this donut effect of Austin really take hold in the Brushy Creek area. Plus, look, the schools are rated really well. The neighborhoods in there are Avery Ranch, Brushy Creek, Cat Hollow. All of these are really, really good areas. So I'm high on this. I think that you will see some good price appreciation just because there's not a ton of inventory. There's not a ton of new construction being built in there. The location's really great for getting down to the domain and where a lot of, Apple campus is going. So locationally, I think this is where people want to go. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the video where I actually get to the one I think is going to be the best. Stay tuned for that. Okay, let's talk about the donut effect and what the donut effect is. Like this article right here talks about this. The donut effect is basically what's happening in Austin, and that is that people are getting tired of living close to downtown. They're getting families. Obviously, the average buying age is in the 30s, right? Well, what happens with people in 30s? A lot of them are having families, so they move out from central. So what we're seeing in Austin is a lot of people that bought close in are now starting to move their way out. So a lot of these families are starting to look at the periphery. And so that's why on this list, a lot of these areas are on the periphery, because if you can afford in central Austin, $800 to $1 million, well, you can move out to areas like I'm in and get the same thing and actually get bigger lots, bigger homes, and more space where you don't necessarily get that in central Austin without paying $2 to $3 million, like if you're going to be in 78704 or one of these areas. So that's a donut effect. Let's get to the rest of the video. Let's go to my number 2 on the list. And this is one area I absolutely love. I'm going to explain why I love this. And that's 78748. Now, this is South Austin, south of 78704, the popular zip code, south of 78745, which is kind of seeing a lot of that growth from 48 kind of trickled down into 45. So you're seeing prices come up. But 78748 last year went up 2.7%. Now, the area I'm looking at specifically here is the South Manchaca, Manchac, however you want to call it, area. Now, this area is getting a revitalization, and this is why it's always been high on my list. So in there right now, you have a lot of bars, restaurants, outdoor things going in that area. Now, if you're going to buy in 78704 or you're buying maybe up in Central Austin, you're buying those areas for the walkability. Well, this area is getting a lot of bars and restaurants on that street. So you're getting people that want to move closer to that. It's becoming a destination area. I've actually personally purchased investment properties in this area. So if you're an investor and you're looking for an area you want to buy resale, I highly recommend this area. If you're watching my channel and respect that I'm trying to give you good, solid information, that's why I think that this is still a solid area. Now, look, in this area, you're getting Rancho Alto as a neighborhood. You're getting Hollow at Slaughter Creek, Shady Hollow, Olympic Heights, Summer Row, which is where I personally invested in. The median price for this area is $480,000. So if we look at Austin, the median in Austin is around $518,000. That's why people are looking more in this range, because if they want to be in Austin and they don't really want to be at that median price of $518,000, they want to be below it, you can buy in this area still for under $500,000. I'm looking at this. There's really only about 45, 50 homes on the market as of right now, which is not very much in this area. So you're going to see price appreciation again this year, most likely. Now, the other day we had Nick Shaw on, and Nick Shaw said the whole area, but he's talking about all the periphery and Austin was going to be either -2 or +2. That's a pretty big difference. But I think this area you're going to see last year, year over year, 2.7%. Now, some of these schools, you're an AISD, some of these schools aren't rated as high as maybe some of the other places on this list. So something to consider when you're looking at this. Maybe you're looking more of an investment, but I think you're going to get a really great house if you buy something in here. Yeah, if you do look at some of the schools, AISD is rated an A-. Some of the schools in this area are rated C+. So just look at the schools when you're looking at this. But I think the growth of South Mantrack and what's happening in South Mantrack, there's areas around there that do have new construction. So if you do want a new construction property, there are still availability for new construction in 78748. So really, really high on the list for me. Okay, so now we're at the middle of the list, and this is 78738. Again, the first four really aren't in any particular order. The last one is definitely my favorite, 78738. So this area, you're looking at Rough Hollow, you're looking at Sweetwater. The area right now I'm in is Serene Hills. Amazing, amazing spot. So all of these little areas right here are absolutely fantastic. There's a few other really great neighborhoods. Spanish Oaks isn't too far away, just down the freeway a little bit, down 71, which is right next to the Galleria. This area is going to continue to see a good amount of growth. Now, year over year, this was 4.4% growth if you look at the numbers that way. The median for this area is 850,000. Why do I think this area is going to continue to grow? Again, it is the donut effect. So people are moving further out. Maybe people that don't have to be in town all the time are moving this direction. Here's the other thing, Lake Travis schools. Again, this area is rated like an A to A+, depending on what you're looking at for schools in Lake Travis. So a lot of those people that want more space, where we are right now in Serene Hills, I mean, you're going to have to be in the 1.4 to 1.6 million for entry level. You're probably in the 2 to 3 million really in this area, but you get hill country views. So this is what buyers are wanting. They're wanting to buy into an area that they're going to get views, a little more space. A lot of these lots are nicely spaced out, and you're getting bigger homes. Out here, you're looking at 3,000 square foot homes. Maybe you want to be in Sweetwater. In Sweetwater, you can actually get really good size 2,000 to 2,500 square foot homes in the 550 to 700 range, right? Rough Hollow, you get lake views, lots of amenities in Rough Hollow. You're looking in the low end about 750, and the high end, I mean, $7-8 million, depending on what you want to do, looking at the lake. So that's why I think areas like this, 78738, are going to see continued growth because people want to be out here. So let's look at the next spot on the list. I'm really excited for the last on this list, so definitely stay tuned for that. But let's look at more Central Austin, 78731. Now, this is Central West. What's interesting about this is I really heavily considered putting in the Allendale, Rosedale, so 78705, 78757. I really considered adding those zip codes in here. And I think if you're looking in Central Austin in that area, there will be growth. There's just a lot of inventory right now, and it's a lot of remodel homes. So the pricing in there is kind of all over the place. So if we look at 78731, and why I like all of these areas, number one, if you like Central, so 7757, 7704, 7705, why I think you're going to like these areas. You have High Park in there, Allendale, Rosedale. Walkability is great. Central Austin's great. Why I'm picking 7731 is because I think you're still going to see more of that donut effect, people wanting a little more space. So as you get into 78731, you do have the Grove that's central right there, kind of the bottom part of 78731. I'm really high on the Grove. I think the Grove is just one of those great mixed-use areas. But if you're going the other side of Mopac, look, you're getting some of the best schools in Austin. The median price in this area is $942, so it's a little bit higher. So you're going to see people get a little bit bigger homes in there. Now, they're not going to be as brand new, but you're getting a really, really good spot close to Austin. Plus, you're close to the Domain and all the development that's going along in the Domain right now. A lot of the big companies, Apple and some of the others, are all going right there into the Domain. So I think this is a good location for that. So I think 78731 saw 4.8% increase this year. I really do think that 78731 will continue to see really strong growth. So this is why 78731 is on my list for next year or this year. So let's go to the last on this list. And the last on this list is absolutely my favorite. Okay, here we are in 78737. This is my top zip code for 2024 for quite a few reasons. Number one, that donut effect. A lot of people are wanting to move out of Austin, but don't want to move too far. This zip code is right on the periphery of Austin. So I think this is going to see a continued growth. Last year, year over year, this zip code ended up over 7%. Why? Again, people are moving out here. On the market right now, there's only about 54 homes on the market. So that's going to keep prices moving steadily because, like I said, Austin's about 2,500 homes on the market. What do you think about 78737? Drop a comment. I want to hear from you. But why people want to be out here are the schools, Dripping Springs schools. And these 5 little neighborhoods right here go to Dripping Springs schools, which is an A+. And it's right outside of Austin. Now, people that are frustrated with the schools in AISD are moving here because you're getting better schools, better rated schools. On top of that, location is only about 35 minutes. The neighborhoods like this one, we're in Parton Ranch right now, are in high demand because a lot of them have larger lots and more space. Like I said, people are wanting to go to more space and larger lots. So the median price for this zip code ended the year at $878,000. In this neighborhood right here, you can get homes in the 800 range up to, I will be listing a home in this neighborhood for $1.1 million. So this is Parton Ranch. Reunion Ranch has stuff coming up in Reunion Ranch as well. Reunion Ranch goes to Dripping Springs schools. A lot of people are leaving Circle C for Reunion Ranch. Rimrock is right here. Rimrock, people are moving there. You're getting homes right in the $1 million to about $1.3 million range. Then you have High Point, great neighborhood. You can get homes down in the 600 range up to a high as about 1.1 as of right now. And then if you go look at Belterra, same thing. You get homes in the 625. I have a property listed right here at 625 right now in Belterra. I have another one listed at 975 right here in Belterra. So you're getting a good mix in prices. And look, there's a lot to do in the Belterra Village. So people are moving here because there's still stuff to do. They just put in an HEB. I think the zip code is high on my list for 2024. And it's not because I live here. I'm one of those people that migrated out of Austin for all of these reasons. And I talked to a lot of buyers. And the reasons why I moved here are the reasons why a lot of buyers want to move to areas just like this. So what do you think? Is 2024 going to be a good year for this zip code? And what do you think about all the zip codes in total? We'll see you in the next video.